Hey guys, and welcome, and thank you so much for joining me here on this special episode on product perspective. So today we are looking at the Ford all-electric F-150, the Lightning, or whatever you want to call it, F-150 Lightning, which is a pretty cool new all-electric truck. But we're going to change it up, and we're not just going to be looking at one truck, we're going to be looking at two trucks. So we're going to be comparing the Lightning, which is just what I'm going to call it, to the Cybertruck, which is Tesla's all-electric truck coming out hopefully the end of this year or 2022. So first off, I want to talk about the batteries. So everybody wants to know range, right? Range is the biggest thing with electric. You might not even go with electric because range could be so low on a certain vehicle. Versus gas, you just fill up, super easy, range doesn't really matter. So on the Lightning, their max mileage is 300 miles. And so that's pretty average. If you look at any other vehicle that's coming out, an all-electric vehicle, it's going to be about 200 to 300, 350. And Tesla is at the very top. So Tesla has been making electric cars for almost 10 years now, and their batteries last anywhere from like 200, 250, all the way up to almost 400 miles on some of their sport models. So really great range. The Cybertruck range, however, is 500 plus miles. So that's a huge battery, and that's just really impressive. That's on their top model, so they have 3 different models, 500 plus miles. So right there, Cybertruck gets 1 point. So second for me would be build. Okay, so you probably want your truck to last a while and you want it to be really tough, correct? And Ford built tough is usually pretty good. And I'm not gonna slam Ford because I actually drive an F-150 King Ranch and I love it. It's a great truck, but in their newer models from 2015 on, they've made aluminum frame and aluminum body. So yeah, right there, you can already tell that's super light metal, which gets them great gas mileage, but it does not hold up. So it dents really easy, and it's just not a strong truck. There's actually been some cracks, and people have mixed feelings about the new F-150s. So in their new Lightning, they actually say they put their toughest steel into the frame in the Lightning model that they've ever put in an F-150. So we just don't really know what that looks like, but hopefully that's going to make it a lot tougher than the aluminum frames, especially because it's ever in any F-150, it's going to be the hardest and best metal. So on top of that, they have some skid plates underneath the batteries to protect the batteries, and they just really changed up the bottom to make it very off-road, and you're not going to be damaging the bottom of your Ford F-150. Along with the batteries being in a special compartment in the very bottom of the truck, waterproof and cushioned stuff in there is what they said, so hopefully your batteries won't be getting damaged. So that was about it. I mean, that's all built Ford tough, right? They didn't really say anything else about off-road. I mean, those features are cool, but let's get over to the Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is made out of some of the hardest steel out there and is called ultra hard steel. It's actually like a cold rolled stainless steel metal that is so hard you can't even bend it. And if you look at the Cybertruck, there are no bends or round spots, it's completely angles. That's it. And that makes 100% with this metal. And that's why they could use this metal. So because they decided to do this crazy looking truck with all angles, they can make it out of this crazy cold rolled steel that is so hard you can smash it with a sledgehammer and there's not even a dent. You can see it's gonna hold up a lot longer than any other truck. So to add on to that, it's not painted, it's raw metal, which I think looks really, really cool. Comment below if you like that look. So no scratching, no paint peeling up, any of that type of stuff. And on top of that, it has almost bulletproof glass. He said it's transparent steel, essentially. So it's really, really hard. And as you can see right here, it definitely didn't work in the unveil. But that's because of a demo and it could have been some problems in the door. Once we get to real life, it's going to be a lot harder than any other glass. So in accidents, in anything like that, it's going to be really, really safe. The glass doesn't really matter for me, but again, that just makes it more tough, right? So along with this, it has air suspension. So all four wheels have air suspension so it can lift up. If you're going on the highway or if you're going on back roads, it can change the level to get better mileage. Along with going off-road, it has 16-inch clearance, which is highest out of any other truck. And that's a main reason I'm getting it, and some of my brother and brother-in-laws are getting it, because you don't have to worry about beating this truck up. It's gonna last a long time. So next, let's talk about self-driving. So everybody knows Teslas drive themselves, right? But Tesla has had almost 10 years of building self-driving vehicles. And now they're coming out with full self-driving, which is just insane and mind-blowing. But Ford has only had it for like a year. You know, they've had assist and that type of stuff, but they haven't had full self-driving. So in the Ford F-150 Lightning, they have something called Ford Blue Cruise, which is a funny name. It's a highway hands-free driving. So right there, it probably only works on highways, and I probably would not use it, especially going 70, 75 miles an hour down the road with a company that doesn't make a ton of tech, right? They're getting into this, but they've only had a couple years of experience versus Tesla has had almost 10 years. So I don't know about you guys, but I would give Tesla another point because full self-driving is definitely impressive. And yes, they're starting to build that into the Lightning, but it's definitely nothing compared to the Cybertruck. Okay, so now let's talk about towing capacity. So the Lightning can pull 10,000 pounds. It's not anything great. Most Ford F-150s, the newer ones, can pull 11,500 pounds. My truck, which is an older one, can pull 9,700. So it's kind of right there in the middle. But the Cybertruck can pull 14,000 pounds. That's the top model. And that's getting close to an F-250. An F-250 can pull from 15 to 18,000 pounds, depending on which one. It gets even higher than that if you get your longer bed and bigger engine and all that type of stuff. But that is a lot of weight. I mean, you're not going to be pulling much over that for the average person. So again, Cybertruck gets another point because it can pull quite a bit more than the Ford. So now let's talk about availability. So hopefully the dual motor Cybertruck is going to be in production the end of 2021, so this year, and all the models should be in production in 2022. Hopefully, we don't really know right now. The Ford F-150 Lightning is spring 2022, so that's exactly a year from right now. You actually may be getting the Cybertruck before the Lightning, but that's kind of a tie because we just don't really know. So they're tied on that one. Next, we're talking about price. So the Cybertruck starts at $39,900 base model. So the Ford F-150 Lightning starts at just under $40,000. So almost completely tied. So now I want to talk about all of the random little things that each truck has. So the Cybertruck, since it has the air suspension, it actually has a built-in air compressor. So if you need to fill up your tires or if you're at a job site and you're working, you have an air compressor inside your vehicle. That's really, really cool. The Ford F-150 Lightning has 9.6 kilowatts max power it can put out, so it can actually run your house for up to 3 days. If you have it plugged in, it'll automatically start giving power to your house, and it's like a backup generator essentially. So that right there is pretty sweet as well. I'm guessing the Cybertruck does the same thing. He kind of said that on stage, but we don't know 100%. But both vehicles put off a lot of power. You have a lot of plugs, you have a lot of lights. The Ford Lightning has over 21 plugs, so it's plugs, USB, that type of stuff in the front and in the back tailgate. The Cybertruck has 110 and 220 volts output, so that will have plugs as well. We just don't know how many there. But they both put off power for charging phones or machinery or all that type of stuff that you're going to be running. So both of those have those capability. Next, they both do have a frunk. The F-150 Lightning has a 400-liter frunk. It looks pretty big and is probably bigger than the Cybertruck just because the Cybertruck front is quite a bit smaller, but we don't know the size of it. The Cybertruck has a roll-down cover, so that's pretty sweet because it covers up everything in your bed and you get better mileage there as well. Along with the tailgate that pulls out like a ramp so you can put your ATV or motorcycle, any of that type of stuff, you can drive it right up into the back of your bed and you don't have to have extra ramps. So that's pretty cool in the bed. And you have these special sliding clips that go into the floor and into the side to move your straps or whatever you're strapping down, you can move those clips wherever to get the perfect strap down, and that's just a really cool feature in this Cybertruck. Again, we don't see all of these because nobody has the Cybertruck yet. We just know by pictures, and again with the Lightning, we don't know what it has in the bed. We do know though that it has a lot of lights, so that's pretty cool as well. So the Ford F1 Lightning sits 5 people, and the Cybertruck sits 6 people. So that's kind of like a point. It's more like a half point because some people may not even need that. Okay, and now last but not least, let's talk about speed. So the Ford F-150 Lightning goes 0 to 60 in the mid 4-second range, which is exactly how they worded it, which is kind of funny. So let's just say 4.5 seconds, which is fast, but it's not crazy fast. Because if you look at the Cybertruck, it goes 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. And that's the top model. That's really fast. That's like a Porsche 911 on steroids. I mean, it's a truck. It's a huge truck. It's like twice the size of the Porsche 911, and yet it can speed up and beat the Porsche 911. That's insane. So right there, that's another point for Cybertruck. But again, a lot of people probably don't really care about how fast it speeds up, you know, even if it's just 2 seconds. But still, that's pretty cool. The lower models, of course, are less. So that's about all the details. I mean, there's a lot of other things they covered, but comparing the main things, the Cybertruck 100% wins. Now, looks are definitely up to you. So for me, I like the look of the Cybertruck. It's different, and that's why I like it. So next time you're driving down the road, count all of the trucks you see and just look at how they all look about the same. None of them really look crazy different. I mean, there's an older one or a newer one, and those will look different. But trucks for the last century have looked the same. And so the Cybertruck looks completely different, and no other company is making a vehicle that looks like this truck. So that's why I like it. Leave a comment if you hate it, or if you like it, and let me know why you like it. But just keep that in mind that if you get the Lightning, it's gonna look just like all the other hundreds of millions of trucks that are in the world. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll have both the videos linked down in the description for the Cybertruck unveil and the Lightning unveil. They both are pretty cool. And let me know what you think, which one you want to put the pre-order on, which one you already are getting and planning on getting. Leave a like. Also consider subscribing because I did pass 1,000 subscribers, so thank you everybody. Again, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I love the Cybertruck shirt. I mean, check that out. That's pretty sweet. Not sponsored by Cybertruck. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later.